Hey, what's up? It's Whistle, and welcome to a game called Kingdoms and Castles. Kingdoms and Castles is a medieval-based uh, colony survival game um, where we'll just get right on into it. It'll be easier to explain. So we're going to start in standard mode, and we will start on Summon difficulty because I haven't played this game in a while. So I will definitely die very early on in hard mode. We are just going to accept this map and the banner. Okay, so in this game you start on a island. So this is our little island here. So there are a couple different things here. So there are some trees here, so those will obviously provide some wood. You can see the stone and the iron up here. Those are also going to be valuable resources for us. We can mine those as we progress in the game. And you're going to notice a couple different colors of grass here. So this lighter stuff here, that is currently not fertile, so we won't be able to grow any crops on there. And the darker that winds up getting, so this kind of stuff right here, it is going to be super fertile. So this is where all of our farms are going to wind up being, it looks like. And oops. So we might actually start our little civilization right about here. That looks like a pretty good spot actually. So we're gonna just put our castle, our starting little castle, right on the corner of some of this not so great land. So that way we have a couple different spots that we could build some farms as we go. And right off the bat, I'm gonna go ahead and mark some of these trees to be cut, as well as we can't do that yet. We need pickaxes for the stones. So as you can see, the little guys are just chopping away at these trees. And there's a little exclamation on this castle. So if we click that, then we click on advisors. We have these three here, so we're gonna get recommendations from all of them. So we'll need farms first to feed our workers. Let's begin growing our kingdom, some roads, and then some houses. And military's just saying good morning. So we're gonna start just by building a couple houses. We don't need to go crazy, but something like that should be good. Pop down a couple houses here, and let's do this here. So that'll be able to hold 10 villagers. Currently, you can see down here we do have 5, so that will be more than double. The way population works in this game, so they will, these characters will give birth to, some babies, but there is also the chance that we're going to get some visitors that will just stop by and decide they want to settle. So we want to keep this happiness here nice and high, because that'll mean that we'll get plenty of people swinging in and thinking our kingdom is nice. So I'm going to click on this again. That's not telling us to do anything. Okay. So we're just going to keep chopping the wood, and I'm actually going to get set up with a orchard. So orchards are slightly more efficient than a farm. You get a little more food out of them, especially in the higher yield areas. They are a bit more expensive to make. They take up a little bit more room, but all in all, I do believe they are worth it. That being said, I am also going to just pop down a couple farms here. The reason I did a layout like this, it is not just because the ground is what it is here, but there is a building, if I can find it, yes, called a windmill. So once we get enough resources for that, we'll be able to put a windmill down, and that will make, as you can see, all of the adjacent farms will wind up being more productive, but it will not affect orchards, which is why I have these little farms separately. Okay, you want us to do anything? No. So you can see actually up in the top left-hand corner that we've had a total of 5 people visit so far, but only 1 has decided to stay. So we're currently up to a total of 6 people, and once we get some more wood, I'm going to set up a quarry. We'll start getting some stone over here. I apologize, I'm probably going a little bit fast in this game. But there are winters in this. You wind up dying off pretty quickly if you don't have enough food. So we're gonna put a little pathway in here just to make it a little quicker for the quarry once we get everything going. Built. Just waiting on the trees to grow actually. And we do have some logs that are being collected. You can see all of our resources down in the bottom left hand corner here. So right now we only do have 5 logs just updated on me. But currently those are all going to be going to the fields, which we will need to make the food in order for our little hamlet to survive. We, as you can see down here, are up to a total of 10 because we did have 4 residents become attracted to us. So once we get a couple more pieces of wood, I'm going to get another house or 2 built, just so we are nice and good to go in case more people decide they want to stop by. And as you can see, this little cave here, there is a chance, I believe, for this to be inhabited by wolves. I'm not sure if this one is. I would have to send people over there to check, but I haven't seen any activity yet, so it looks like that's just an empty cave. I don't know if that little dialogue that pops up when you click on it is a lie or what. But it's my... Yes, so we're still short on some wood, and once we get that, we'll get the quarry going. So you can see there are a few different islands here as well. So each island has its own nice little chunk of natural resources. There is a newer NPC called the Witch we can talk to, and I believe she will give us potions and buffs and such. This is actually a wolf den, so it looks like the cave on our starting island is actually empty. So if you have any people inside of this little barrier here, that pack of wolves will attack and most likely kill everybody, which obviously is not a great time. So it looks like we have some wolves. This should be our island, right? Yes. So we do have some wolves up in the northwestern corner of our island, but I don't see any. Yes, there are none in any of these caves, which is wonderful because we'll have all of this room to expand and grow. Okay, they're complaining about the food, but we will get there. Once all of this starts growing in, we should be good. So it should just be a summer of not having too much food, and we'll hopefully be able to stock up a lot during the winter. I'm just gonna keep on marking this wood over here just to be demolished, because we will need a lot of wood pretty early on in order to grow. There is a building, if I remember correctly, yes, called the Forester. So this will be able to replant trees and make wood a lot more sustainable for us as time goes on. But that does need 15 wood and 5 stone, which we are a ways away. Now I'm actually going to go ahead and fast forward this just a little bit so we can start going real quick. Kind of rush through the early game a little bit. And I did lie before, actually. There is a wolf's den up here. It was tucked away behind some trees, but you can see they're nice and active there, just waiting for somebody to come on up. And then right off the shore, we do have there's a couple fish here. The island off to our left over here, or even this, there's a whole bunch more fish. So as we expand, we'll be able to set up a fishing hole, I believe, and then a fishmonger in order to catch and, cook some fish. Currently, looks like all of our citizens are employed. at the farms. So I'm going to knock down... Let's see if I remember how to do this. I'm sorry. Oh yes, we're gonna close this farm off, I think, for right now, just so we can have at least one person getting us some wood. So we can make some more houses to get some more people to wind up working the farms. As you can see, we're getting visits from a few people, nothing crazy, 3 people here, 3 people there, but nobody's able to find a home because our city is totally full. And the food looks like it just popped over, so you can see our food stores just went up to 60. So at the moment we're very sustainable on food. And actually if we wind up clicking on this, it does bring up a whole bunch of different stats. Obviously we don't have a lot of food rather at the moment, but you can see we are up a total of 44 food over last year, which is pretty substantial. So I'm actually gonna shut down one more farm, I think. Just again, so we can get a couple people chopping down these trees. Because I do really want to get going on the houses. So each tree they cut down is gonna be 2 logs. So that happens pretty quickly. So there's one house. Should be good for house number 2 right here. We're just waiting on our 3 builders to wind up building that. Let's read what these guys have to say. Okay, so this is saying we need to get a granary or some paths. Granary is a little ways away, and we can't really path much better than what we have here. And by examining a house to see how to improve our peasants' conditions. Okay, so it looks like they want coal and a couple different sources of food. And there is currently no access to drinking water, so I will have to also get a well going. But it does look like I can click on the right thing. A quarry. So we're going to set that up. These little white stones right here is something that you can quarry, whereas this gray stuff is not usable. So that just kind of sits there. You can demolish it once you get some pickaxes and such in order to actually mine that, but you don't get resources from it. So right now that is not a huge concern for me. Okay, we are going to see how our food is. So we're still plus 23. If we go to job priority, that's the button I've been looking for. I have it so that way we have a couple less timber workers and we get some quarry workers going. Just because right now we do need some stone. We're doing pretty good on wood. As you can see, we have 78 down here, which will hold us over for a little bit. But without the wood, life's going to be, or without the stone rather, life's going to be pretty stagnant here, and we won't be able to grow our city. So I'm actually going to build a small stockpile. Let's build that up here, so that way it's nice and centralized to the woods that we're building in, as well as our stone quarry. Do that path for right now. Not the prettiest, but we can always adjust as the game goes on. As we're going, you can see we are now up to 11 stone. We have almost 100 food, so we're still net positive on food. And it looks like a few different people have joined us as well, which is fantastic. So in this menu you can, I didn't explain it well the first time, but you can drag stuff around. So if we ever need, say, more farmers, we can just drag that up above. But setting the builders nice and high, I'm going to set it slightly below the food, is always a good option, because that's going to pull workers from these down here, put them into builders, so we'll get stuff built nice and quickly. And with that said, let's place down a well. We're gonna go up there, looks like a good spot for me. So that's gonna provide drinking water for all of the houses in the little radius here, which at the moment is everything. And we can actually start to build some roads up this way. I'll put down a cottage. So the cottage will hold 12 peasants. The residents are peasants in this game. So we're going to put one of those there. It takes up a total of 2 tiles, but we do get an extra 2 people out of it versus just 2 of these houses, which can only hold 10. So it takes a little bit of stone, a little more expensive, but super worth it as we go. I'm going to reopen these farms after the winter and probably put down another orchard as well. Then, once we get 15 stone, I'm going to build the produce storage, because probably producing more apples than we know what to do with at the moment. Yeah, so we're losing 24. It doesn't say what, but I think apples are the big thing that we're producing at the moment, so we will build one of these. There we go. We'll just go ahead and put that right here, nice and close to the orchards, so that way nobody has to walk too far. And we are doing great. So the forester only needs 5 stone, so I'm going to get a couple of those going as soon as I get enough stone. Because then we'll get some wood farmed. It will just kind of automatically happen. We won't need to worry about continuing to mark wood to be demolished, because they will just do that for us. And this finally built, so we have 125 food storage now. So we have a good amount. I'm going to... Down here there's a granary. So granary will hold the wheat that can be stored in the castle. So after I build a... where is it? Forester. I'm going to go ahead and build a granary. Again, just so we can store some of that wheat during the winter. And look at that, we are now a small village. We have 26 people living here, so we are off to a phenomenal start. Okay, so Forester is here. Let's just put it straight on up from this little path that we have going already. And then all of this area here, it's just going to be able to chop down the wood. So this isn't the best spot for it, but there's enough trees in the area, it should be able to stay busy. And I believe it will even be able to start planting trees kind of all around it, wherever there is not a building. I do not believe that trees follow the same ground stuff as the crops do, in terms of they need a nice dark green color in order to grow. I think they can just kind of grow wherever in this game. Okay, and let's get that granary built. We will put the granary down here. Again, just trying to be careful not to put it on any of these green tiles, just in case we need some extra food built at any point. I also... what do I need for this? I need gold. Okay, so that's not going to happen quite yet. In order to get gold, I do need a treasure room, which is going to cost us 50 stone, so we're going to have to save up a little bit for that. It looks like we are full on housing again, so let's build another house. Another cottage, rather. Put one of those right on there. The villagers in this game can walk between the buildings off the path as well, so you could put another couple houses back here. I just believe you can't be blocking the doorway in order for them to get in, but they can walk through. So if I put another house here, sorry, right here, and something here, this house would be able to get in, provided that the doorway isn't right up against another building. And here you can see my forester just popping around, chopping different trees. And he is on fire, so that's fantastic. Hopefully that gets put out. There we go. So he's just going to work. We have 4 workers employed there. And you can see here they're going to be outputting 24 wood per year. So nothing super spectacular, but enough to keep us going at least for a little bit. Let's see. So the next thing we're going to work on is going to be a charcoal maker. So this does cause a little bit of pollution, so the residents don't like living near it. So I'm actually going to put it over here next to the stone quarry. What the charcoal maker does is it takes wood and turns it into charcoal, which will help over the winter to keep everybody nice and toasty. Because the villagers do feel the effects of cold in this game, so if you can keep them happier by keeping them warmer, they are always going to be happy and appreciative of that. Okay, and it does look like this is going to be a pretty good spot to leave off for today. Not a whole heck of a lot for most of it to be done. This is a bit faster pace, but here we are. So this is the little hamlet we have made in the last 20 minutes or so of this game. Hopefully we'll be able to expand on this in the future and make it a nice little kingdom and take over the majority of this island. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I hope all of you have a great day or night wherever you are watching this, and always remember to do something kind today.